I'm back. It's been at least 2 days. Unlike me, um, we I couldn't work out what I was hearing myself in my head. Um, we were discharged from physio today, both of us. We hadn't done anything wrong. We had talked to each other beforehand when we were sitting in the waiting room. We've discussed it a couple of times about, do you think we're ready to finish? I mean, I've not been there long, but what they're doing with my hands, I can do at home. And he's now coming up for 8 weeks, I think, 2 months post-op, and doing really well. So we had talked about maybe making Thursday our last one, and then our physio, Mark and I were separate. I was having my hands manipulated by. Um, she's not qualified, but she's in year 6. I think she probably is qualified. I don't know. She's on a stage, but whatever. Anyway, so they discussed it, and she said to him, "Are you ready? Are you ready to leave?" And he said, "Yeah." And then she came and talked to me, and I went, "Yeah." So that's it. We're not going back. And it's quite a relief because we've been travelling twice a week to Chauvigny for 8 weeks. So that's, what's that? 16 visits. It's quite a bit for us. Tuesday, Thursday normally. So it's really nice. It's like suddenly we're stopped and we've got Wednesday tomorrow, nothing. Art on Thursday, and Vicky was here this afternoon, so she doesn't come on a Thursday morning. So the Thursdays are easier. Friday's empty. We may or may not go to the Hope Shop, and the weekend's empty. Yeah, weekend's empty. So it's nice just to stop. I think we've both had enough now. I've been absolutely overloaded with stuff, admin, being bombarded with, do this, make that, copy that, I want to see that, send us this didn't work, redo it. And I've been tired, and it's just been relentless. And I have felt bombarded, particularly by our bank. Now, our bank was HSBC up until January this year. And it was taken over by an American bank called CCF, and I haven't liked it. I just haven't liked it. And the last 3 weeks, they've been pushing me to fill this in, give us a tax certificate, which is an American thing. We don't do that here. Tell us your TIN number. We don't do TIN numbers. Give us your ID. How many fucking more times do you want our ID? So I've been getting more and more annoyed with it, and I've been sending messages back saying, no, not going to do it. No, not going to do it. Then we get it come through longhand through the post. And then we're getting emails, about 2 emails a day each. And of course, Mark just forwards them to me. And I thought, okay, I'm done now. I'm done with this. So I wrote to our conseiller and said to her, counsellor, said to her, I'm done, and I'm going to be switching banks in the near future. I've had enough of this. I can't do this any longer. It's overwhelming. So I've told her. And as I came away from telling her, I was rooting around on Blue Sky and found a story that that CCF is about to cut a third of their branches, I think, and up to 1,400 staff. So they made promises in January they wouldn't do that, and now at the end of the year, that's what they're doing. So anyway, coming away from there, and I apparently will be able to seamlessly yeah, to make a note of this, that I said on the 9th of December that we'd be able to do this seamlessly. I should be able to go into a bank and ask them to switch our account, give them the details, sign a mandate, and they should do all the switching. I hope that works, because what CCF have been doing have been sending me a list of people that haven't responded to the new IBAN number. I'm going to put this up briefly and cover some of it up. No, I won't do that. brief, there you go, IBAN number. It's very long. It's a very long number, and anybody that pays you or you pay, everybody has an IBAN number. And I never came across it until we banked in over here. I hadn't heard of them before. It's obviously an international banking account number. But it's a long one, and it's changed because of CCF. And they have allegedly told everybody, and people haven't responded. So then it's passed to me, and they sent me a list of about 17 people to write to. I wrote to some of them, but it's like, I can't do this any longer. I'm hopeful that if we switch banks, they'll do the writing too, or whatever. So probably next week, because we're going to make the most of this having stopped, that I'll have the energy to take us into one of the local banks and switch accounts. I'm sure that will happen next week. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm done. And now I've been with HSBC for since 1990, 34 years, and 18 years in France. Well, 17 years if you don't include this year with CCF. So I've been loyal, but enough's enough. I can't do it. So that's that. I'm pleased that some of you watched the Notre Dame brief video. I'm going to look at it again, actually, that I shared. It was beautiful, and it was the Hallelujah, which I love. You know, for me, it's a Leonard Cohen song. But I was just absolutely stunned by the scaffolding outside. It was absolutely mind-blowing. I must go and have another look. So yeah, I'm pleased some of you enjoyed that. I hope more of you watched it than it looks like, because it is lovely. And it's guaranteed Trump-free. This next bit isn't guaranteed Trump-free. I didn't watch the service. I watched snippets of it as it was coming up when Mark was going surfing, I think, on with his remote. But I didn't watch it. But poor Jill Biden sat next to Trump. I feel really sorry for her. And I don't think Joe was there. I haven't checked. I'm pretty sure he wasn't. And I'm pretty sure that he would have been doing what he did when Trump and his cronies all went off to watch the rocket go off at the SpaceX rocket go off. Biden does stuff whilst Trump's away, and I think that's a very sensible use of his time. And for those of you that are angry with him for pardoning Biden, Hunter, well, do something with your heads. Do something with your heads. I'm not going to say any more. Have a look. There's lots that you can read online. Yes, he did things wrong. Yes, he's got charges against him. Yes, he did this. Yes, he did that. He admitted to all of it. He wasn't denying it. But he's been used as a pawn by MAGA, and they're only going to go after him even more. They, you know, once they get into power, they'd go after him. What father wouldn't pardon their son? That's all I'm going to say. So I'm behind that, and I agree with it. But I think Biden's doing stuff as much as he can, whilst Trump is off pretending to be what? What's he pretending to be? I don't know. Anyway, at Notre Dame is a brief footage that I saw earlier of him, or a photo of him standing, having gone up to Trump in that place where he was seated. And then another picture of Trump with his finger up to him, and then another picture of him walking away. And I think the person who shared that, I guess just to stop that, the person who shared that is Elizabeth. Yes, it's turned itself off now. Speaks really quickly. She says that she thinks that Trump's got is onto the narcissistic discard stage. So when a narcissist is finished with you and you no longer have as much value to them as you did, i.e., um, you've bought my presidency, you've bought me this, I don't need you really any longer. They start then to push them away. They start to be less attentive. They stop idealizing. They stop the love bombing. And she says that that's what's going on. And I'm happy to agree with that. And I just thinking, this is just fascinating. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for all of you that are going to be dealing with the consequences of this awful, awful regime. But actually, for me, looking at bits of it is absolutely fascinating. So, yeah, don't know what will happen because Elon Musk may well have a very similar way of dealing with his anger that Trump does. So there may be tantrums from Musk. We'll see. So yeah, transactional Trump is my new name for him. Yeah, so Vicky was here and the house is clean again. It's quite nice having it done every week. It didn't used to be done every week. And it is nice having it done every week. I keep thinking about the cost of it and thinking, it's not cheap, but it's worth it. I'm not going to be able to do it. I can't do it. So even between us, we can't do it. And it's just nice to have it done all in one go. If we were doing it, we'd be doing a bit here and a bit there, and it's never enough. So we had no fire today. The fire went out overnight, and it's been quite cold. So once Vicky had gone, Mark relit the fire because we don't have it. I mean, if it's on and it's fine, we leave it. But it needed relighting this morning, and actually lighting it would have made the room really hot for her to be working in. So we left it. That's it really. I've got my wax bath, which is really working well for my hands. Pardon me. I've got these. I've put these on again. I'm not so sure about these. But the wax bath is good. I even shoved my foot in it earlier because I've got arthritis in my big toe on my left hand. I shoved my foot in it, and actually immediately the heat just helped, and that's fine. And I've got a TENS machine that I can use, which is what they were doing at Physio. So I was not having the wax bath, but I was having a TENS machine. Well, I can do that here. And Mark's got his static bike, and he's got bands that he can use for doing squats. I've got a bike upstairs that I haven't been on for ages. I haven't felt well enough. I really do need to get on it. Sometimes I go in there and sit on it just before going to bed. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. It's hard to remember, and then by the time I go to bed, it's too late, really. Neither of us slept well overnight. He was really restless, and normally I just ignore him, but I had gone off to sleep, I think, and then he was restless, and it's like, and we've been taking magnesium in the evening. It's back to front, isn't it? Magnesium breakthrough. It's got premium magnesium complex. So we take one of these in the evening. It's supposed to help you relax. Not like a sedative or whatever. It's to help your muscles relax. And I think he hadn't had one last night or the night before. So I said to him at whatever time it was, 1:30 this morning, I went, you didn't take a magnesium last night. You've not taken one. Go down and get a magnesium. So he got up and came down and took a magnesium. And I laid there trying to get back to sleep, and laid there and didn't get back to sleep, and was still not asleep when he came back to bed, but actually didn't get up, which is quite unusual for me. But I didn't want to. It's always the same. we always have those sort of nights where we've got to get up in the morning. Now, if that happens tonight, it's not a problem because there's no alarm set. It always happens on a day when we've got something going on. Well, it probably doesn't, but those days, you know, you notice them more. So that's that. I had a bit of a cooking day, 2 days. Yesterday I did a roast dinner, Monday, but I did a roast dinner. I haven't done roast potatoes for so long. I did a roast dinner, so I did roast pork, roast potatoes. We went up to the shop and I bought really nice Savoy cabbage, I think it was. Don't often get those Savoy cabbage, and I'd made parsnip and carrot a few days ago and frozen it, so we had that and gravy and roast pork. And at the same time, I'm making. So I put the slow cooker on with a piece of beef that you would use. I can't remember the name of it in English. It's used for pot au feu here. So it's like a stewing beef that's in a joint, wrapped around a bone. I put that in with a load of onions and carrots and some celery seeds and other bits and pieces, some gravy and some Worcester sauce, and tomorrow, because we're not going anywhere or doing anything tomorrow, I'll lift the meat out and sort it out, break it up, get rid of the stuff that's not edible, and then put it back in with potatoes and cook it. And we'll probably have that Thursday or Friday. And I made a ginger cake. When did I make that? I made a ginger cake on Sunday. What I tend to do is I'll look for recipes online and look at what I've got and what I haven't got. And some of the recipes called for black treacle. I haven't got black treacle, but I've got syrup. So I used brown sugar. The few people don't think you can get brown sugar in France. Yes, you can. Hold on. Don't go away. Brown sugar. So I had so I look at recipes and I think I must have looked at a bit of a video that actually was what motivated me. And in the video, it was in another country, and I can't remember the country, and they were Poland, a shop specialising in gingerbread, ginger cake, gingerbread, I think, and talked about some of the ingredients. And some of the ingredients were some that I wouldn't have thought to put in, so I did. So in there was ginger and powdered ginger, and I have fresh, which I freeze. So I grated some fresh ginger in, cayenne pepper, ordinary pepper, star anise, nutmeg and cinnamon, I think, were the spices I put in. So there was no black treacle, so I just made that up as I went along. And I soaked some sultanas in brandy and put those in. So then I had to work out, make sure I didn't over liquid, make it too wet. Although ginger cake is quite wet when it goes into the loaf tin. I hadn't got any raising agent, and I don't use and have self-raising flour. I've got buckwheat, which isn't self-raising, and I don't have a raising agent. So I just had to go without, and it's fine. It's dipped a bit in the middle, and I'm not sure that might just be to do with it rose too quickly, and so it's dipped a bit. But actually it's nice. It's really sticky. It's really spicy. We didn't have any today. But yeah, when all the fruit dropped to the bottom, which didn't surprise me because fruit does that in a cake if you're not careful. I think when I was a lot younger making fruit cakes and things like that, you're meant to put the fruit in flour first so that it doesn't sink to the bottom. You can't really put it in flour once it's soaked up the brandy. So yeah, but really nice. So I did that on Sunday. So I've done quite a bit of cooking, which, using my hands a lot, and I've sort of suffered a bit, but actually not too much. And so when I was not okay a few days ago or a week or so ago and thinking, oh God, Christmas this, that, I can't do that, I'm not going to be able to do that, I know that's how I was feeling at that time on that day. And actually, the reality is that even though we're ordering food in, that our local restaurant is doing takeout, and we'll order for two days worth of food from them. I will do some cooking over Christmas because I enjoy cooking. Um, but if I'm not well enough, well, then I won't have to. So I've got a choice. That's really nice. So that's that. So that's a bit of a catch up. Because I don't know when I last made a vlog, and you won't get this till tomorrow. I don't know what it'll be like today because I'm using my phone. I'm not using the internet because that's really slow. But even the 4G is really slow at the moment, so it's not going up very fast. So you'll get this in the morning. So you'll get this on Wednesday morning. I might be up. I will be up. But that's when you'll get it. Anyway, thanks for your attention. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. And it would have been my mother's birthday today. When was she born? 28. So she would have been 96 today. Yeah, 96. She's been dead since 2016. So she was in her 80s. But it would have been her birthday today. Right, thanks. Okay, bye.